Hi, welcome to my channel. Hi, what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be taking this drawing that we just completed and we're going to be mapping contours using the cross sections. So what I have here is the original drawing, which is done on tracing paper. Let me just go ahead and pull that out so we can take a look at it. But what we're going to do, because I kind of like to always preserve my original drawings. We may come back to this, but let's just preserve this drawing. We're going to pull this away, and what I did was I went ahead and made a copy of it on my copier. So we have sort of a black on white drawing. And on this drawing, we're going to go ahead and begin to map contours so we can start to see what this form is going to look like. And when we map these contours, we're going to use that as an underlay to then do a final rendering. Okay. Now the way I usually like to do that is, first I'm going to go ahead and just use my blue marking pen here so I can see the colors, see it in color. And then later I'll go back in and backfill with some black line work so I can more clearly see where those contour lines are going to be heading. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull these pens aside. I'm going to pull this backing sheet over here, and I'm going to scoot this over here a little bit. And pardon me as I zoom in just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit so we can kind of get a closer look at what we're doing, okay? And again, forgive me, I'm going to be kind of twirling and rotating my canvas as we go. But let me just go ahead and take the blue marker, and you know how I usually like to draw with the broad nib? Well, what kind of work we're going to be doing now, I think I'm going to get a lot more control with the bullet nose or the fine tip. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take the lid off of that. And if you can look at this drawing here, it's already got some indication of contour with regards to some of these little hash marks that I've made, some sweeping curves here. Whether I keep them or not, it remains to be seen, because I'll probably be going back over and trying to find curves and contours that are more harmonious and work together well, because really what that leads us to doing is controlling highlight, right, which is where the light strikes the pronounced surfaces of the form, and also shadow, which is the opposite of the highlight. So we're going to kind of work back and forth with highlight and shadow. All right. So let's go ahead and sketch up some contours. Okay. So we're going to map a few contours. I'm going to start with this one because we've already got a good start here. This is the front section of the fender. So we've got a good curve here, and you see how when I come into color, you'll see what's happening. Okay. So I kind of think there's going to be a little bit of a contour going across here. I want to continue this contour. And I'm going to kind of bypass what I've got here in the drawing because I think the transition is probably going to be a little bit abrupt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue with that curvature that I have established. And then what I'll do is I'll come up on the roof. Okay, let me kind of scoot the drawing more to the center. And I'll come across. And I'll come across the shelf, and we'll come out. We'll come around the back, and we'll swing that out because of convergence and perspective, and we'll drop that down. Okay, and I don't know if you can see this, but there are 3 lines here, and these contours are actually working well together. You can see the sweeping curve being a little more sculpted now. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and come back to the front. Okay, and now, sometimes what I like to do is I like to kind of envision this sort of drawing as a transparency. I like to be able to see through the drawing. So what I'll do is I'll kind of imagine popping through the other side of that fender, and I'll come back, okay, and I'll hop over on the other side. All right. And what that does, it kind of allows me to see what's happening as the drawing is moving across the surface. I'll come down here, and you see there's already a contour line here. So I'll come and continue that and hop over to that one. All right. Now, as I come to the front, I've got some contour lines I got to deal with here, okay, because I've got this roof section here. So let me move this over so you can see what's happening. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of show a contour of the roof, so I kind of know that it's rather upright this way. All right. And I've got a couple more to do. I'll make sure that one is set. I'll bring this out maybe just a little bit more. I'll bring this out a little bit more, and we'll bring this one out a little more. Okay, and you see a sweeping curve here. Right? And then what I'll do is I'll take this line here, and I'll kind of connect it with this little protrusion here that I have. So you see this little protrusion here? Let me see if I can zoom in here so you can take a look. Close I can get, but it's really right in here. Okay, so let me zoom out just a little more so we can come back and do a little more of the contours. Now, as I come along here, I want to kind of make sure that I have a contour that's going to help the side of the form blend in with the wheels. Because if you look at the wheels, you see they've got a little bit of an offset. I've got wheels that are narrower in the front, right? And they're a little broader in the back. So I have to make sure that my body or just body sculpting kind of swings out in that manner. Okay. And then what I'll probably do is come into the front again. And again, remember how we talked a little bit about the body being transparent? Okay. We want to make sure that we clearly define what's happening with this contour. You see, at first, a lot of you might have thought that this actually sticks out, but actually it tucks in. So that's why these lines are sweeping back in underneath the vehicle. All right. So we'll come across. And I think we're good to go on this. I think we got enough going on. I think this rear spoiler is pretty defined here, and I got enough of the black line to kind of show what's going on. All right. So let's zoom out and see where we are. Okay. Go back in just a little more. All right. So there is a completed contour sketch. All right. So on my next video, what we're going to do is we're going to overlay back some tissue paper, and when we put down the tissue paper, that's where we're going to go ahead and read these contours and begin to sculpt out what this final form is going to be. All right. So stay tuned in the next video, and we're going to do that together. All right. See you soon.